Alright, so here we are, lesson 3A, linear expressions. I'm going to see what I can do as far as helping some people out with this particular study island lesson. What I did is I'm just pulling several problems from this lesson, and I'm going to show you how to work through them, okay? And we'll see if it helps. Alright, so here is the first problem that I came through that looked like it may give some people some issues, and I'm going to show you how to do this problem. And the key here is you have to know how to use distributive property. And the way distributive property works is whatever is on the outside of the parentheses, you're going to have to multiply that times everything inside the parentheses. Now you might say, well, there's nothing outside of these parentheses, but there actually is. There's really a hidden 1 on the outside of those parentheses. So if you take positive 1 and multiply it times 40x, you're going to get a positive 40x. Alright? And then if you take positive 1 and you multiply it times positive 45y, you're going to get a positive 45y. And then we're going to come over to the second set of parentheses, and again there's still a hidden 1 on the outside of that parentheses, so you take that positive 1 and you multiply it times everything on the inside of the parentheses. So a positive 1 times a positive 7x is going to leave you with positive 7x. A positive 1 times a positive 41y is going to leave you with a positive 41y. Alright, so I understand that what it looks like is it looks like nothing changed. You see this? So it is real tempting for students to just erase the parentheses and then just say, okay, there we go, I simplified it. But that's actually not mathematical, because if there's ever a negative in there, well then you are going to most likely get the answer wrong. Okay? So you have to know how to do this and actually go through the steps to guarantee that you get the right answer all the time. So if you're getting the wrong answer and you're not following the steps, that could be what your problem is. Okay? So just always make sure that you are taking whatever's on the outside and you're multiplying it times everything that's on the inside of the parentheses. Do not try to do a shortcut and just erase the parentheses, because you're going to end up getting the answer wrong about 50% of the time. Alright, so now you can see that I did distributive property. I no longer have any parentheses. Okay, so now what I'm allowed to do is I'm allowed to start combining like terms. Alright, and this is what I mean by combining like terms. You see this guy right here, what I like to say is his last name is X. You see 40x, his last name is X. This guy right here, his last name is also X. These two terms, they're actually alike, okay, because their last names are X. So I can combine them. So if I have 40 x's and I add 7 x's, I now have 47 x's total. Alright? And I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem. So I still have my 45y, my positive 45y, and I still have my 41y. And you can probably go ahead and guess what I'm going to do next. I'm going to combine my y people. I have 45 y's, and I'm going to add 41 y's together. So what I'm left with now, I still have that 47x, see from up here. But now I have, if I have 45 y's and I add 41 y's, I'm going to be left with a positive 86 y's. And I've actually reached my answer here at this point. And the reason why is I cannot combine these two guys right here, okay? And the reason is because this guy's in the X family and this guy's in the Y family. See, they're not like terms. They're different, so they have to stay separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my multiple choice answers and I'm going to try to find out which one matches my answer. And look at A. 85x plus 86y. Does that one match? Nope. It doesn't. So I know that can't be it. Alright, let's look at B. 85x plus 81y. Nope, that's not right. C. 47x plus 81y. That's not it. D. 47x plus 86y. That's it. That's my answer right there. So I would select D as the correct answer. Here's another problem, but it's actually worked out the same way, and I selected this one because you see right here it's got this negative symbol. Okay, you remember how I said make sure that you don't just erase the parentheses because you'll end up getting the answer wrong. Well, I'm about to prove that to you right here. What's really hidden on the outside of this parentheses? There's really a hidden 1. So I take this positive 1 and I'll multiply it times everything on the inside of the parentheses. So I've got 1 times 81x is going to give me a positive 81x. Positive 1 times a positive 85 is going to give me a positive 85y. What's hidden on the outside of this parentheses? Same deal, it's a 1. But check this out, look. That means there's a negative 1 on the outside of that parentheses. So what you have to do is you still multiply it times everything on the inside of the parentheses. Now this is where you have to know your multiplication rules when it comes to multiplying negative numbers. If I multiply a negative times a positive, it's going to give me a negative answer. Alright, so negative 1 times a positive 3x is a negative 3x. A negative 1 times a positive, see, look, a negative times a positive, that's going to give me a negative answer. 1 times 37y is going to be 37y. So you see how this was a positive 3x, but after doing distributive property, look, it became a negative 3x. This was a positive 37y, but after doing distributive property, it became a negative 37y. You see how it's real important to make sure that you do the distributive property? Alright, so just like the last problem, you probably already guessed, I'm going to combine like terms. I see 81x's, he's in the x family, minus 3x's. Okay? So if you had 81x's and you take 3x's away, how many are you left with? You're actually left with 78 x's. Okay? Because you had 81, you took away 3 of them, now you only have 78 x's. I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem. 85y minus 37y. Okay? And I'm going to combine like terms. I have 85y's, but I'm going to take away 37 of them. If I had 85y's and I take away 37y's, then how many am I going to have left? Now you might not be able to do that in your head, but guess what? You can come over here to the side. You can say, oh, 85, I got to take away 37. So I can't take 7 from 5, so I have to borrow, makes that a 7, makes that a 15. 15 minus 7 equals 8. 7 minus 3 equals 4. So that means if I had 85y's and I take away 37y's, I'm left with 48y's. But don't forget about this 78x that you also had. Okay? And I can't go any farther because these are not like terms. So it's simplified as far as it'll go. So now I'm just going to go looking for my answer in a multiple choice. So 78x, well, that's not it. That's not it. All right, C says 78x, but then it says plus 122y. Well, that's not it. Look at this. Answer is D again. Okay? So that's how you work out that problem if it has a little negative symbol out there in front of the parentheses. Just remember, there's always a 1